Hello again, everyone. So we're gonna kick off with the Fluent-bit integration and ship a bunch of logs from our Kubernetes to uh, the Elasticsearch. Um, so yeah, that will be our agenda for today. If you are watching, please use the chat to introduce yourself or whatever you'd like to say. If you got questions, if there's a problem with the screen, let me know. And that's it for the introduction. Let's go to the terminal where I'm comfortable to work with. All right, hopefully the settings are okay. First of all, I need to restart the cluster that we were working on. So start everything. If you remember, this is the cluster that we've been working on. Just two nodes. One is a control plane, the other one is a worker node. I'm using K3S as the Kubernetes distribution. I installed Calico. We secured the clusters, so all outgoing flows are actually right now denied. Only specific policies and flows are allowed at the moment. Before I forget, I need to copy the config file. So I'm just copying the kubeconfig file from the instance, and I should be able to connect. Yes. All right. So we need to give it a little bit of time. The pods are restarting. Calico Cube controller and core DNS pods are actually not ready at the moment. We'll get there. Think in the meanwhile, we could take a look at the policies that we wrote. So I wrote a bunch of global network policies. These are the ones that would affect the whole cluster, everything in it. I also wrote a couple of network policies for specific namespaces. For instance, this one seems to be Calico API server to Kubernetes API server, and Calico Kube controller to the Kubernetes API server. Things should be alright. Alright. So Kube controller is still working. And Cube DNS is not happy. Alright. We can figure it out. I'm assuming there's a policy that I need to implement, but we'll get there. Don't worry. Alright. So, because our cluster has no internet connection at the moment, not because internet isn't present in this machine, but because we curated policies in such a way that nothing can talk to outside of this cluster. So what we need to do is we need to first apologies. We need to figure out our game plan. All right, so for now, control and node 1 should be able to communicate with our private repo. If you don't remember, the private repository is a basic Docker registry. I think it was registry something. Yeah. So it's a basic Docker registry. It's just basically just serve on this port, listen to all communications, and these are your certificates. This is something that I injected into both control and node, my node VM machines, because in order for your container runtime to communicate with the registry, it needs to use some sort of encryption. You can use insecure protocols, but that is not recommended, so I can't show you that. But if you're looking for it, you should be able to find it on some corner of the internet. Alright, so let's get back to our agenda. Now, I need to install Fluent-bit. Let me just share experience with you. So, yeah, I'm using Firefox, so Fluent-bit. Documentation is the place that I go. Getting started. Oh, brilliant. Deploy on Kubernetes. Node for OpenShift. Nope. Oh, they got a Helm chart. Alright. So I need to change a little bit stuff here. So let's look at the chart. If you're new to this, so Helm is an automatic way to install stuff in your cluster. So instead of just like applying YAML manifests and keep track of those, you can just use Helm. You add a repo, and then you can use Helm to update or downgrade or change the configurations that are permitted via the values manifest in your or in the Helm chart that you are using. So here, for instance, like you can change the repository while you're installing your Fluent-bit, or the pool policy. There are other sort of stuff that the brilliant people at Fluent-bit community implemented in this, but we'll figure out what are the things that we need to use. So let's get back to our journey. All right. Need to add Fluent-bit. Let's get back to the terminal window. Paste. Oh, I've got it. All right. So I've got the repository. Next thing would be installing the Fluent-bit. Now, with Helm, as I said, there are a couple of things that you can tweak and make it in a way that it works for your environment without going through the insanity of changing things in a YAML file and keep track of it. So right now, I'm going to use Helm in order to install Fluent-bit in a namespace and at the let's see what will happen. All right, so coming back to my terminal, install, and all right. So seems like everything worked. Let's check it out. And as you can see, there's a problem with Fluent-bit container creating, and I think it should show an image pool problem. If you're curious, we can actually see this as it develops in our syslog. We should be, yeah. So we were Calico packet. Now, what is happening is that our cluster is trying to reach out to this address, which is the repository that currently is serving this Fluent-bit image, but it can't because we do have a global network policy here that says log everything. So let's describe global network policy log everything. Now, you might be wondering, all right, the action is log, and you've got an order, but why this is denying everything? It specifically says to log. Well, if you remember from our previous sessions, the Kubernetes way of dealing with policies is that everything is permitted by default, unless you write a policy. No matter what that policy is, if you add a policy to either directions, it will prompt an implicit denial at the end. So no matter what you do, you need to permit the things that you want to permit. Now, since the Docker registry or the Fluent-bit container registry wasn't in our initial setup, and since it is hosted outside of our organization, we cannot pull anything from it. However, we do have a private repository in our organization, which we're going to use. Back in, I think, chapter 2, we wrote another policy for the private registry, which basically says, if somebody is trying to send something to this address and this port, let it flow. Alright, so what we need to do is we need to figure out what our pods are using in terms of the image. So let's say kubectl get dash and monitoring, and let's go with this one. Actually, let's just describe pod and image. All right, so it's trying to pull this in. Now, what I can do is I can say Docker pull to get the image on my local host machine. Then I can use this image. Let me just write things so I can copy paste. All right, so I can pull it in my host machine, not any of the control plane or node, or any machine on my cluster. I can tag it for my private registry, but before I can do that, I need to export the registry ID address because somehow I'm using it. So export registry is it 1, 2, 168, 122, 104. Yes, this should work. Yep. And next, I can push my newly tagged something to multi-class list 22104. That's working. That's shell private repo. Is there internet on this? Yes. Is my registry running? Yes. Is it working on port 5000? Yes, so it is listening. There is a problem with. So I need to change the way that I created the registry. Alright, so registry. I need to tag it again. I need to push it. Yay. Alright, so now if I try to install the Helm again, but this time I can use, where was it? It's around here. But this time, so this is the previous command that I used to install Fluent-bit. Now I can use the values in the chart to say, all right, install Fluent-bit, but make sure that you use the repository, like my private repository. Now this time, hopefully, things will pick up and the containers should run. Or don't. We can't figure out why, hopefully. Oh, it's still using the old one. So let's just do helm. There's a helm thing here. All right, so what I can do is I can actually do a helm uninstall for the Fluent-bit that I added. This cluster. Yep. Yep. And then I can install it again. Alright. Seems okay. Be able to see stuff here. Oh, there's a new image or something. Calico logs and this thing is really pulling image. Describe what's going on. Oh, so problem is something else. Oh, the coordinates ones. Kukel row out, restart, finish, and this thing needs to be restart. I think it was deployment. Yes. Let's see what's happening. I feel like I need to add a policy that allows core DNS to talk to the internet. But we'll get there. And let's just do a rollout, restart for this one too. I think this is also a deployment. Yes. Alright, so core DNS requires an image. Alright, I can fix that. Alright, so Kukel get deployment. Where is it located? In Kube system. Alright, so let's just subscribe this thing to me. Alright, what I need to do, again, because our cluster is right now fully protected and nothing works unless we explicitly allow it, we need to make sure everything is we need to make sure that everything is available on our private repository. So what I'm doing is that I'm downloading the core DNS image file from the public repository and, similar to the other one, pushing it to my private registry. Now I should be able to roll out the core DNS thingy and hopefully get it running. Alright, it's running. Let's not jinx it. Something is happening. So, Cal logs. EA. All right. So, still waiting. All right. So we got the image pooling thingy worked now. We got that sorted out. Now it's trying to send UDP to port 53, and a little bit of foreshadowing. We should be able to find it in the flow logs that we enabled in our previous session, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's just do one thingy. Now that it's running, let's see if we can get by and install Fluent-bit. So I'm trying to maneuver over these because I want to export everything to Kibana and use that to debug these sort of problems. Cookout, rollout, restart, and monitoring Fluent. It was a deployment, but maybe not. Yeah, it's demon stuff. Yeah. Will it work? Will it not work? What will happen? All right. We need to deal with the DNS situation. Do have some sort of you know what? Let's just for now. Let's just add port 53 to the exceptions and allow everyone to query DNS for now, just to get out of the situation. And then after we install Kibana, we can come back and figure things out. Alright, so where would be the best place to add this thing? So we'll get pods. You know what? I can actually do something there. And where is it? It is worker node. Registry. So Kukel get GMP, Kukel edit, GMP registry thingy. I can add. Let's just use a simpler tool. Alright. I can copy this thing and make a copy of it. Say if port is 53 and it is UDP, let it flow. Assuming this would where was the core DNS one? Assuming this will help with our core DNS problem. Cool. Alright. 443, I'm not interested. 123, NTP, not interested. 535, not my problem at the moment. Where's coordinates? Oh, image pooling. Assuming you have the image. Alright, Kukel logs. So starting. Describe on. Alright, so it is trying to go to Docker registry. Oh, so I need to edit something else, which is kube system for DNS. It's a deployment. Boy, this thing's deployment. Alright, so around here, there should be an image, and I need to add the private registry. So this is one of the things that I don't like about computers. For some reason, they cannot understand your intention, which is not that good. But anyway, so this would be echo listening to me, and now I'm not Fluent-bit. I'm actually looking for coordinates. So there is a push around here. Yep, this one. Alright, so echo listening to me. I'm gonna copy this here. Image. Get rid of this thing. This thing. Alright. We actually didn't need that policy, but yeah, that's troubleshooting, I guess. You create a security vulnerability and figure out, no, you didn't need it. Alright, so let's do another deployment thingy. Rollup start deployment. Alright, is it still trying to pull an image? Right. Kukel, describe oh shoot, so certificate problem. Yeah, because this needs to be alright. So what is this problem? Problem is I forgot to say private registry.repo. I'm assuming this is the correct domain. Oh, it's private repo.multipass. Alright, if you remember, I talked about secure communication, and the certificate that I'm using in the private repository is issued for that specific domain. So that issue we saw was because of that. Describe what's going on now. It's trying to call it, but it can't. Alright, I can also fix that. It's trying to dial 4,000 and the lookup doesn't come back with anything. So multipath shell control thing private repo dot. Oh, they changed it, so it's not, I think, control. It's called local. Local, yes. So I need to. Boy, oh boy, things changed. All right. So here. All right. Next problem. It's always DNS, isn't it? In their current version, when multipass is set up, it uses .control. Don't ask me why, I don't know. In order to make the local, domain. All right. Things are running. That's way better than before. Okay. Google subscribe pod. All right. It's working. It pulled the image. That's good. That's one step forward in the right direction. And now, apparently, I forgot a policy. So let's figure out what that policy is. The Calico is trying to communicate with lots of things. The one that I'm interested in is the source. It's this one. 6443 node 1. Because I'm on node 1. Alright. Apparently we missed something and it is trying to communicate for DNS policy. So 6443. What would be the best way to write this? So this is most of the components. It's a component. It lives in the host endpoint namespace, and it's trying to communicate with my control plane. All right, so I would say the best way is to extend the allow containers access to localhost. So what I'm going to do is add port 6443 and port 22 to this thing. All right. Oh, it's Calico kettle. It needs to be Q kettle. So Q kettle. I also think I need to change this to 192.168.122.0. Yes. Lots of things happened. So Q kettle will get pods. And hopefully things are running. I should not get that thingy anymore. Industry. Industry. All right. Let's just. And where was I? Okay, so now go create F just to save some time. Allow it. I need my forwardings for now. I will figure out what is going on. So forwardings is running. Let's just reload, rollout, go, rollout, restart, even set, and the monitoring namespace for Fluent-bit. Get that thing running. Big problem. So no such codes. All right, so let's just install it for the last time. Great. Let's just use the internet thingy. Install Fluent-bit. Hopefully it will work. And we can ship some luck out and figure out what is blocking it. By the way, this happens if you install a cluster and don't shut it down correctly and just pause it. From time to time, you forget to write the correct policies because in the previous session, you think you've done it. Just get rid of this. Install this. I kind of feel like there is a problem with my multipass now. But we'll get there. Alright, one Fluent-bit is running, the other one is running. Alright, that's good news. So now, let's get back to Fluent-bit. So Fluent-bit works, it uses some config map to figure out what are the configurations that you want to use. So I need Fluent-bit, and please describe it. All right. So there are a bunch of chains. Let's just talk about input, filter, and output right now. So input will be the place that Fluent-bit looks for an incoming, a file, or any of the sources that it permits to send log to it. Filter is where you can add some sort of secret sauce to that input. You can change it, you can manipulate it, like prepare it for the export that you want, and the output is how you get the is where to send that processed log to. Now, if I go to my projects and Docker elk and run this thing, and so it's Docker compose up. I'm hoping yes. So this would give me a Kibana instance. By the way, in GitHub, search docker-elk. It's an open source project. Very, very good. Helped me a lot. All right. So I forgot something. So I need a -d because I need it in the background. All right. Now I should be able to think the port was like 5091 or something. It's 5601. All right, so now waiting for Kibana to come up. There. These are for, yeah, this one. All right, let me change the window. So here, I think it was root and change me. Oh, change me. Oh, admin. Yeah, I have to go look it up. What is the password? So, Docker. Username is Elastic. So, Elastic. And changing, yeah. That works. So, here is Elastic on its full glory. And if we come to stack management, come to index management, you see there are no data streams at the moment and no indices and stuff. There are some templates. And what we need to do is use our Fluent-bit to ship the logs from our Kubernetes cluster to this Logstash. Now, what we can do is come here and say Docker yes, Okay. Right. Need to, for a second, Docker. Sorry, I need to figure out the IP address for the Kibana thingy. So now that I've got that thing, I need to write a new config map for the Fluent-bit. Now, let's look at some of the Calico logs that we get. These are IP table logs that are exported into the syslog, into the Linux syslog. So all I need to do in order to ship these out is say read this file and spit out everything that you see in it. That would be a good start. What I actually can do is I can write config map. So this is the config map. I'm telling Fluent-bit that I want to look into the var log, current log. I want to tail it because if something happens, I need to know about it. Then I say, when you get something from this, add a regex to it. So regex or regular expressions are a way to find specific patterns in some sort of text or a document. So here I'm saying with each line of the input that comes in, the first part, this caret means start. So at the start, the first thing that you see, call it time, and then look for anything that is not space. No matter how many, find them and repeat. Then find the host name. It needs to have Calico packet. Remember, we are trying to ship out these logs. The first after in, it's the ingress. After out, it's the egress, mag and stuff, and that's it. So matching that, and back here, get all get pods, get a rollout, restarts, and I need to reload the bin set. Because the configuration is injected into the pods. Now, when this thing happens, we should, all right, so 6 seconds. We should be able to see a bunch of logs in our Kibana. First of all, we need to find the window. All right, so let's try. And indices. So go logs and wait. Go get logs. And all right, it is tailing kern. What is it? And it looks great. It's the actual thing that I'm looking for. It is looking for it, and I should be able to send it. Maybe it takes the time. Doesn't get patient. Just come here to discover. And it's just so it's not a big problem. Coming back to index. Oh, wait. I know what's the problem. I ran this thing before and I forgot to get rid of it. So I need to, what's it called? Go to projects, Docker, help, pose, Docker, pose, down. I need to refresh the license that I have. All right. I think there was a Docker pose something for just like getting rid of everything down, stuff, resources. Actually, yeah, just Docker volume less. Volume ls. Docker volume. I think there was a RN thingy. Get rid of this thing. Get rid of that. Now, wait for it. Oh boy, things that can go wrong on a live session. Unlimited. All right. Where is my OBS thing? and we need to give it a little bit of time. It's loading. Apparently, we have to wait. All right. In the meanwhile, let's just come back to the terminal. And reload the Fluent-bit thingy, because so each time that you reload the Fluent-bit pod, it comes back and tails your file again. There are a couple of configurations that you can use to automatically change the sort of behavior. So right now, I'm using the input for file, so tail, and where was it? It was, all right, so read from that. So you can actually have it true, so each time that it reloads, it will read from the first line and goes down. If you have false, it just tails from the moment that you started it. There are a bunch of other things, like if you want to skip lines that are long, but empty lines. But again, you can use filters. It depends on how you are using it. The parser would be the second step that you would use in order to make your log more human readable, or in a way that you like it. You can have multi-line parsers and stuff. So if you want to know, just come to Fluent-bit documentation, read it. It's pretty much straightforward. Everything has like examples and stuff. So let's get back to our home problem, which is Elastic. Still not ready. Boy, oh boy, it takes some time. Let me just see what is happening with my Docker. All right, so changing the camera here. It is up. That's good. These. So Docker. Which one is it? Kibana. Is there a dash in there? Oops. What did I copy in there? I need container ID. Alright. So is there a SS here? No. What are my options? Not that many options. This not good. Frog. Let's go. That's that. What was that? just install something. apt update and oops, I don't have the permissions. Come back, see if that's working now. Goes up. All right, it's building again. That's a good sign, always. So these are building bays. I think you should be done in a couple of seconds. But yeah, exporting Kibana. All right, start it. Hopefully, things will turn. Something is happening because my laptop is about to take off. All right, let's come back to the Firefox page. Wait for it. Be ready. Just Docker container and see what's unable to authenticate user. Whatever. Is there an error? Yeah, there's an error. Enable to retrieve version information. All right. So apparently we have to debug something else. So let's come back here. All right. Is there something new here? Yes, there are some new stuff. Docker compose again. Docker Elasticsearch Docker compose off. Yes. This thing. Oh boy. The container ID. Actually, there was a shed here. Yep. This one. All right, tended to resurrect user warnings. There's an info store. I'm not that interested. Log4j. Creation path. Not that interesting. I was trying to figure out okay, this thing. Not a problem for now. So going to Elasticsearch. Right. Fake to authenticate user, Kibana system, version. Oh. Let's just bring everything down. Let's just do Docker thingy. Let's just do Docker. Get rid of everything for now. Oops. This thing too. This Docker. This. Who's using it? So split. These. Set Docker volume. something else. Dash A. Get rid of everything. Here. And Docker compose off. This reminds me, I need to get my presentational laptop that I don't fiddle with in my spare time. Alright, some stuff are happening. Hopefully everything is now sorted. We can see Kibana somewhere, hopefully. This is going to be a long session. I'm afraid the demo gods are not on my side today. These are working. Maybe it's the upper issue. Let me just search the repository to see if there's a notice. Upper. They updated some stuff 3 weeks ago, and there are 5 issues. Inject on a startup. Yeah. Alright, good to know. There are a bunch of new issues in their repository. So Docker logs. Alright. Yes, that's the Docker. Yeah, there is a problem with this repository at the moment. They updated some stuff. Let me figure out what is the problem. I think it's some sort of secure. Maybe Docker compose. Yeah. Oh. Alright. Found it. So apparently the good people and the community of Docker help added a new command, which is TLS. So Docker compose TLS. Wait. What is going on with this? So they are saying for those, yeah, it should work, but there is no such service. So what's their compose file looking like? just go back. Alright, so 8, 7. Let's just go here. Wait. When did they add this feature? Alright, so no. There. You know what? I'm gonna look into why this Docker repository thingy is changed and it's not working, and come back to you in another stream. So in this one, I didn't get any far, but the Fluent-bit thingy is working. We just ran into some unknown issues because of things getting updated. Is there a Docker post here? So Docker compose where are the services? I need to detach. They don't have a TLS service. I cannot find it in their Docker compose file either. Maybe I'm on a branch or something. So let's just do git branch. No, there is nothing new here. This is odd. So let's just do Docker compose setup. Is there a setup command? Yes, there is a setup command. Oh, yeah, they changed it from Docker compose op to Docker compose op TLS to Docker compose op setup. You know what? I need to read the README. Yes, that's why it's called README. Alright, let's do new stuff. No password defined, skipping. So Docker compose op. Not good. 10,000 times is the charm, I'm assuming. Wait. I need a dash D. Here. Yep. Now, hopefully something happens. Let me change the view to Firefox. Yeah, much better. Alright. Wait for it. Yes, Elastic, and change me. Now, if we come to the index thingy, on integration, stack management, index management. Yes, there is a Calico log. Thank you. And at discover, now come here, create a data view, say Calico, and do Calico something. So Calico logs, it's actually there. I can just do this thing. Put here. Yeah, timestamp was fine. So basically I'm saying everything in the index I need it, show me. And thank you, Kibana, for playing nicely. All right, so here, if you look closer, the Regex is working. Fluent-bit is shipping all the flow information out. Now, what is the significance of this? Well, if you remember, I talked about these packet flows and how you can distinguish these records. So if there is, for instance, an ingress without an egress, that's an incoming flow. So you could create a dashboard and be like, all right, from Calico logs, give me, let's see, all right, so timestamp, put it on horizontal axes. I need, I don't know, destination IP address looks cool. And it will give you the count of how many destination IPs were like called upon in your logs. Or you could like create some sort of some sort of other what was it? So something like a table. All right, this looks more loggy. And instead of count, maybe we could say last value. Yeah, so I get the idea. Now I can, I don't know, add ingress to see what was the place that. All right, not count, dude. Just change it. All right, so on this interface, I got a flow in that time with this IP address, destination IP address. So you can basically create whatever you want out of these. I don't know, maybe some sort of like a pie chart would be good, I guess. And let's get rid of this. So I can say ingress. And I can say egress. Oh, by the way, you can also click here and do stuff from there. Actually, let's put these two here. And that, yeah, that would work. So this would be all the ingress percentage that I got. Now, instead of percentage, I could come here and say, so this keyword, where was the thing? I can write a formula for it. In whatever way I want, but the thing is, I can say unique count of ingress. I don't know, maybe like divided by unique count of egress, something like that. I don't know what that would mean, but you know, we can basically write anything that we want to interact with this log that we have. Now, what is the best way to figure out what we got is coming to discover and then checking the actual log. Anyway, I'm glad it worked. There's like a 30-minute awkward moment of me trying to figure out the problems with the work, but you know, at the end, thanks for that. Thank you for joining in. If there's a topic that you would like to learn with me, let me know. I can hopefully figure it out and demo it to you. So that's it for today. Have a good one.